Morning. Good morning. Uh, we are in Erie, Pennsylvania. I am in default 172 with the reality expansion pack. I think I'm going to. I see there's a Labor Day sale at explain.org, and I think I'm going to pick up some more GA aircraft and try to expand my horizons and stream that experience. And so I've been flying a 172 for quite a while, and it's a plane I learned on, so I'm real comfortable in it. But I think I'll step out of my comfort zone a little bit and try to learn some new airplanes. So I generally like single engines, but if I can find a twin that I can make work in VR, using VR controllers for the throttle and that kind of stuff, I'd be up for that. I'd be up for that challenge. But if like the throttles and that kind of stuff don't seem to work well in VR, then no, that would be just unacceptable to me, because I kind of like the fact where I can, so have physical yoke, physical pedals, but VR controls for everything else. And that's how I choose to experience VR. And if the plane doesn't fully support that that experience, then it's not a plane that I'll tend to fly. So, okay, Doke, we're pretty good. Weather actually looks a little better in the sim than it does outside. Outside it's overcast, but it's pretty high. It's maybe 10,000 feet, something like that. So and today we're going to fly from Erie, Pennsylvania to Jamestown, New York. And so that's over by Lake Chautauqua. And then that'll be kind of a southeasterly flight route. And then we're going to head north, and we're going to fly to Dunkirk. That's right on the lake. There's a big power plant there. It's not rendered very well in the sim, but it's a big coal-fired power plant there. And then we'll fly back to Erie. So Dunkirk's on the shores of Lake Erie, so we'll be flying along the shores of Lake Erie back to Erie. So scheduled time is about an hour, and we'll see how well that goes. Alrighty, let's get the plane ready.
OBS sim sound.
Sim sound. Yeah, it looks good. I'll get you down a little bit. Good.
Check. Mod mic in position.
Here it is.
Check. OBS mod mic sound.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that could be. It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday, so if I have the opportunity, I kind of like to fly Saturdays because you'll tend to get a bigger audience. So I'm glad you think I'm one of the cool cats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we're good.
Check. OBS streaming.
Oh yeah, we're streaming.
Check. Over toolkit windows.
Yep, I got a chat window. I'm good.
Check. Fly with Lewis sounds script.
Yep, that's here.
Check. AVI tab plugin.
Hi Harker, happy Saturday to you. Glad you could stop by.
Check. Rep weight and balance.
Yeah, let's see what we're doing here. Probably got to put some fuel in this thing. Whoops. Not maintenance, weight and balance. Yeah, oh yeah. Uh, I just turned. Sorry about that. Uh, it looked like for a while I didn't have Streamlabs running, and I used CloudBot, and now it's on. I got to go in. I got to go in and tame the tame the bot down a little bit. So I need to kind of turn off some things that uh, are just not relevant to my stream. Sorry about that. Uh, oh, okay. Gotcha. Yep. Okay. That makes because I was lost because what I'm seeing here in chat's kind of clipped, and so I didn't see that part of it. So and that makes all kinds of sense. Uh, I've I've only used that a little bit. I don't think I have a current license either. So I did use it over in Microsoft Flight Simulator a little bit, trying to expose some. I think they're called LVARs in Microsoft Flight Simulator, if I remember right. What I was trying to do is kind of demonstrate how poorly the VR controllers work. So I could bring up the LVARs, so I could show that when I'm using a mouse and like pulling the throttle in and out, how smooth it was. But also kind of show that when I grab the throttle with the VR controller, how it just didn't move. It didn't change, and then it jumped. I could actually demonstrate that. That was the only reason I was using it, not for really any controls, but actually for VR controls. Weight balance,
Check.
good.
Rep maintenance log.
Maintenance log. Oh, okay, all right. They won't. The honeycomb stuff won't work just straight in with using the joystick stuff. ADF receiver failed. How did that? Oh, I know how. I was abusing it. That's why. I was testing something for Claudio, and yeah, yeah, that makes sense. So, are you talking about the accesses or like the switches on it?
Check. 2 brakes. Test and set. 3 fuel selector. Both. 4 fuel shut-off valve. On, in. 6 beacon. On. 7 avionics switch. Off. 8 master switch. On. 9 throttle. Open 1/4 inch. 10 mixture. Idle cut off. A auxiliary pump. On. B mixture. Rich until 3 to 5 GPH then cut off. C auxiliary pump. Off. 12 starter. Engage. 1 ignition switch. Start. 2 mixture, at engine start. Rich. 3 engine. RPM 1000 RPM. 4 oil pressure. Check. 5 mixture. Leaned max. 6 flaps.
Oh, okay. All right.
Retract. 7 avionics. On. 8 instruments.
Okay, 7:30. Yep, south a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty close.
Set. 1 brakes.
Alrighty. So we're looking pretty good. So I'm gonna hand fly today, but I'm gonna put a flight plan in to make sure I kind of stay on track. Jay. Whoops. Now you can do that. JH. Jamestown. D. Okay. 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 And then back to Erie. Okay. So, what, Setcom 1 standby 110. That was
111.0 is not a valid frequency for COM1.
I'll bet you it's not. I actually forgot. Setcom 1 standby 118.10.
118.12 is not a valid frequency for COM1.
Yep, you're right. Setcom 1 standby 118.10.
COM1 standby set to 118.1.
Okay. So we have the COM1 set to the ground frequency, and we have the standby frequency set up for the tower. So that we're pretty close to being able to move. Got taxi light on, beacon light on. Yeah, she's just getting up into the green. What kind of temp we got today? 69. Oh, we're good. Say weather.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. Weather at Kilo Echo Romeo India is clear. Visibility is 9 miles. Winds are 200 at 9 knots. Current altimeter is 3014. Temperature 24°.17.
So winds are 200, so I would assume that we're going to be on runway 24, but we'll find out. Say active runway.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf arriving and departing runway 06.
Really? Say wind.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf Erie International Ridge winds are 200 at 9 knots.
That seems wrong. But also what's going on is so this is also going on. So once again, the server that we get the weather from is not right. So all of these in the sim are saying this. But when I started, I got a dialog box from pilot to ATC that said something about weather. So more than likely it doesn't know. So I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. I'm not quite sure. So basically I'm going to be taking off with a tailwind as far as the sim's concerned. We'll see if I can get away with doing this. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf ready to taxi to runway 24.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf taxi to runway 24 via taxiways Delta, Alpha, hold short runway 02, and runway 24. Taxi to runway 24 via taxiways Delta, Alpha, hold short runway 02, and runway 24 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Because the winds to me sure seemed like they were favoring runway 24. So. And when I look at the actual winds, at least in that dialog box, that's what it says. So we'll go down to the end of the runway and we'll look at the windsock and say, what is it doing? And I'll make my final determination on that. Can't quite see that one over there. It's too far away. But there's one right at the end of the runway down here, so that'll be good.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf cross runway 02. Cross runway 02 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Okay, there's one right there. So let's slow down a little bit here. Yeah, so that looks right. So
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf contact tower on 118.1. Have a great flight. Tower on 118.1 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
So that windsock over there, yeah, that looks correct. So the wind's coming this way. So when I spin around here, the wind's gonna be, I'm gonna be going into a headwind. So okay. I forgot about the one being here, big one here. So, but there's ones on either end of the runway too. So, all right.
Attention all aircraft. KERI International Tonbridge Field altimeter 3013.
So I see with Beta 7 and also with Release 1 here that there's a group of VR users that seemingly are having problems with various VR headsets. So I know of at least one gentleman that's having trouble with the G2 that if he initially goes into VR, that excuse me, the easel, the settings board there that's in the hangar, it doesn't exist. So if he goes out of VR and into 2D and then back into VR, then it's there, which is really odd. So I don't, not sure what's going on with that. And then there's and also it seems like let that thing go ahead a little bit. That should be good. So return taxi off, land, nav, strobes. And also, for some reason on the joystick settings, it says Rift. It doesn't say Windows Mixed Reality left. It doesn't say that, so that's a little weird too. And then there's another user that's using a crystal, and for some reason when he goes into if he tries to use the crystal in Steam VR, then he gets poor performance. But if he doesn't go into VR, then so what happens when that happens? Oh, if he goes like from VR out of VR, then basically it'll crash. It's like, I'm not seeing any of that stuff, so I'm just not sure what's going on. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf ready for departure.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf contact ground on 121.9er for taxi instructions.
Ground on 121.9er for taxi. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 200 at 9er knots. Altimeter is 3014. Cleared for takeoff. Runway 24.
Cleared for takeoff. Runway 24 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Okay, turns for takeoff. We got lights. Everything kind of looks in the green. Okay. Look good. Give me some power. Had something pop up in front of my face I had to deal with. I was a little distracted. It's way too fast before I took off. I have using a reality expansion pack, and I was testing this bar that comes up. I have it like right there, and I was looking really good. So for some reason in VR, the bar isn't big enough if I have two messages. So I had something extra turned on, and I don't think I can change it with the engine running. So I'll go look and see if I can, but only once I get going here. So we got to be on a heading of 93. So trying to get out past the airport here. Okay. That's pretty close. You probably pull back the bar. I'm gonna go back to
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, enjoy your morning. Frequency change approved.
Oh, let's see if I can fix this. Whoops. Show engine monitor. There we go. That won't show up again. Alright. Whoops. That was a bad stutter there. So, got 39 miles to go to get to Jamestown, so I pulled the power back to 22, so I'm just letting the plane like slowly climb, so I'm trying to get to about 3,000 feet. So everything out there looks a bit shimmery. Like the houses and stuff over here, they're all shimmering. They're shimmering pretty good. But like right out in front of me, I don't see that. It's almost over unless I'm kind of looking like to my left. That's when I see it. The ones in close here, really, if they are, they're not very much. So. So elevation at Jamestown is 1,700 feet. So we got some clouds in the sky, not many, but some. For some reason, Habitat says that Jamestown has a tower, but they don't have a tower, so I don't know what's up with that. So I'm just going to use CTAP. So neither Jamestown nor Dunkirk have towers. So this is basically northwestern Pennsylvania. So we're up in the most, maybe the most northern and most western part of Pennsylvania. So we're up on Lake Erie. This piece of the shoreline here on Lake Erie didn't used to belong to Pennsylvania. I think it belonged to New York, if I remember correctly. And somehow Pennsylvania got it. I don't know how, but somehow they did. So this is basically where I've lived all my life, is in this area. So we're on a heading of about 90, 93, and an elevation of 3,000 feet. So just given really small corrections. Plane's pretty well trimmed. I'm not putting in really any yoke inputs other than directional inputs. I'm not pushing the yoke in or out. It's just trimmed up for about this, so about 85 knots. So yeah, it looks like it's climbing just a little bit. So it shoved in on the yoke just a little bit. Move the trim wheel up just a tad, and so it should level off a little bit. Got a little distracted. I was looking at I was turning down the exterior sound. It was a little, it was louder in the headset than I wanted it to be. If I have the sounds that I hear in my headset too loud, then I tend to talk too loud. So I try to keep them fairly low. I want them loud enough that I can hear pitch changes in the engine, so I can tell, you know, if I hear a pitch change in the engine, generally the airspeed's going to be changing. So I use that as kind of a cue to say something changed, and so I'm a little bit too far to the right for my course, so I gotta get back a little bit. I'm also a little bit high. We're we're working at getting it a little bit lower, but no big deal. Not off by a lot. Minor correction. So Lake Chautauqua is certainly not as big as Lake Erie, but it's a pretty big lake. So there's a lot of boating and boating that goes on it. It's quite a good sized lake. So, and actually we will be able to see it from quite a ways away actually. So it's that big. So yeah, when Beta 7 come out, there was in VR, there was a null pointer error, but it wasn't it was so hit and miss with people. It was crazy. So some people, as soon as they started up and went into VR, it would happen. On the other hand, for me, it only happened after some period of time. Like I was doing was practicing the flight I did 2 days ago, and I was probably 20 minutes into the flight. I was recording it. I wasn't streaming. I was recording it, and I got it. And so I went, well, I'm not going to send in a bug report if the if the install I was having wasn't clean. So I said, so let me do a clean install. Let me start it on a clean install, and then I'll see if I can make it happen. That took about an hour and 10 minutes before it happened. It did happen, exactly the same error, but it took that long for it to happen. And so, alrighty, so what is that body of water? That is Finley Lake. So we're kind of in the area where I grew up. Basically, I grew up a little bit north and a little bit west of this lake right here. So, one of the claims to fame of this lake, it's another recreational lake, man-made, and the Peak and Peak ski resort is in this area. So needless to say, where I grew up, we got pretty good snow every winter. So you don't build a ski resort if you don't get snow. So, and I grew up about 5 miles from here. So, in a very, very small village called Little Hope. So, there's probably, I don't know, be less than 100 people. Probably 25 houses, maybe no more than that. Alright, there's something really strange going on. Much like I was seeing shimmering kind of on my right, when I looked on my right, I'm seeing these trees. The trees are actually changing, but I don't know how they're changing. I don't know if they're changing from 2D to 3D or 3D to 2D. or something like that. But it happens when I'm looking this way, like when I'm looking through here. But if I look over here, I don't see that effect. That is odd. Why I would see it to my right, but not to my left. That's odd. So I'm 17 miles from the airport. A little bit off course. Not a lot. I certainly won't miss the airport. There's a great big lake by it. I can't miss it. I don't think I can see the lake. So what are we, 16 miles out? Yeah, that sure looks like there's a lake over there. But like I said, it's a big lake, so way bigger than Finley Lake. Probably, wow, 5 times bigger, maybe more. It's big. But I certainly in VR seeing certainly less showstopper issues than other people are. So yeah, you can. It's pretty obvious now. So. Alrighty, let me go back to airports. Okay, we got 2 runways. Set COM1 standby 122.70.
COM1 standby set to 122.79er.
No. And I could easily see when I was adjusting that, I could easily see the numbers, you know, to be able to just not lead in, just look at that, and then just rotate the knob down to, because it was, I forgot what the number was. It wasn't right, but. So, elevation is 1723, so pattern will be 27, so 2700. I'm at 3000, so I'm a little bit above pattern. And if I remember right, the airport is over at the end of the lake over that way, so should be able to see it. Yeah. Whoop, that's Goose Creek. It's over here. Let's zoom out a little bit. Kind of helps me get pointed in the right direction easier. So when we so it's 10.6 away. So when I get to 10, I'm going to 10 miles out. I will switch to the CTAF and first check the weather. The weather lets me know Say weather.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf weather at Kilo Foxtrot Kilo Lima is clear. Visibility is 10 miles. Winds are 220 at 5 knots. Current altimeter is 3022. Temperature 212.16.
One two 2.70. Let me check some. Oh. Wrong. It thinks it's 122.97. Say weather.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf weather at Kilo Juliet Hotel Whiskey is clear. Visibility is 10 miles. Winds are 230 at 7 knots. Current altimeter is 3021. Temperature 212.16.
Say active runway.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf arriving and departing runway 25.
Okay. Well, that's what I guessed. So that matches the winds. We're 7 miles from the airport. Let me look. So I'm looks like I'm set up for a downwind on runway 25, but I'm 6 miles out and don't see the airport. The airport's a little bit to my left. And I can't quite see it. Let me recheck my compass. Compass may be off by just a little bit, but not really enough that it should bother. There it is. It's over there, Bill. It's all in knowing what to look for. And because there's some aliasing going on, that isn't easy to see as it normally would be. So, but I just seen that shimmer, but it was a shimmer that had a length to it. So it's kind of like, oh, that's a runway. So. So it's 1700. I'm at 2700. So I'm at pattern altitude right now, and we're looking good. think I come in here a little bit too tight. Brought the nose up just a little bit to kind of bring the airspeed down. Okay. Okay. There's 2.5, I can see it. So we got 1 notch of flampkin. Probably far enough. Go ahead and turn. Make sure the nose is dropping. Should see the air runway. Yep. So go ahead and turn her in for final. Yep, I was a little too tight to the runway. So get it turned around here. I'm far enough away I can get it lined up. Give me a little bit more power. Yeah, not one of my better approaches. Yeah. Huh. Saved that pretty good. Yeah, I was a little bit too close to the runway. I like to make my patterns 90 degrees, and when I tried to do that, I was too close. So I basically had went kind of a little bit past the runway, and so I had to kind of come back and do a dog leg to get in. So okay, and that was all related to being just way too close to the airport. So. Alrighty, we got to be on the heading of looks like 8. So we'll go out here a little bit, and then we'll kind of head to the north. So we're on to Dunkirk. 21 miles away. Basically, we can kind of follow this lake up to the north. We gotta go north and a little bit to the east. Still haven't got quite far enough to the east yet. Yeah, so Dunkirk's just about the same. Actually, it's almost identical to KERI. The big difference is the runway isn't as long, but it has a 624 runway, just like KERI does. So. So you can see Lake Erie from here. That turned out to be a pretty nice day. A little bit of clouds in the sky, not a lot. Yeah, like I said, when I went out on the deck to look at the weather, it was way more clouds in the up above than what I'm seeing right now. So, yeah, yet last night I was doing some testing, and it was late at night, like about 8 or 9, and so I was at Erie, and I looked to the east, and I seen this big moon. I went, oh, that's really cool. So I went, wait a minute. I says, let me see if I can see it at home, and so I went out on the deck, and there's too many trees. It was because it was kind of low. It was it was above the horizon, but not by a lot. And so I had to walk out to the end of my driveway, and so I could look up the road, and there it was. So I went, that is so cool. So it was so big. You know, so what I was seeing, that was kind of funny that what I saw in the sim, I basically was matching exactly what I was seeing in real life. So that was pretty cool. Because I had seen it in the sim a couple of times before, but I didn't. I wasn't recording it. So last night I was recording. So, but I was trying to. What was I trying to test? Oh, I was testing whether I could go in and out of VR and have it crash on me, and I never could make it happen. So. Okay, Unicom. Setcom 1 standby, 123.075.
Com 1 standby set to 123.075.
Because I know on the forum some people were saying that it's too big. But I forgot what, I think they called it a blue moon. So it's actually closer to the Earth by quite a bit. So it's going to look bigger than normal. So. Alrighty, should be able to see this airport. I won't say I can. Weather.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf weather at Kilo Delta Kilo Kilo is clear. Visibility is 10 miles. Winds are 230 at 9 knots. Current altimeter is 3011. Temperature 25 dew point 0.
Say active runway.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf arriving and departing runway 24.
Okay. So I want to be a little bit to the left of this airport. That will allow me to set up for a downwind. So, pull the power back a little bit here. So far, it ain't really sticking out, but I figure it says it's 7 miles away. And we got a shoreline here, so can't be too far. Got to be right here. So right now it says it's to my right, which is what I want. But I can't see that I'm seeing something that looks like a runway. At least not yet. I'm certainly coming up almost exactly 90 degrees to it, so. But we have 2 runways, so whenever there's 2, it does make it more difficult. Is that it right there? 4 miles out. Nope. There it is. Well, there it is. I was seeing these straight roads. Kind of going like, is that it? Kind of looks like some buildings, like some terminal buildings. Is that it? Nope, that's not it. It's over here. You can see, so you can see the straight lines. So you got that straight line, and you got another straight line. Those are the runways. All right, don't get too close this time, Bill. Yeah, it looks better. So I'm trying to have the runway in about the middle of the strut. So that should give me half a mile or maybe a little more. All right, that's the end of the runway. Go back on the power a little bit. First notch of flaps. Make sure we're descending. And we're kind of flying out here until we're like at about a 45-degree angle with that runway. Kind of making sure everything is looking okay. I'd say I'm good. Second notch of flaps. My directional gyro may be a little bit misaligned, but it's not too bad. Yeah, I'm okay. Alrighty, turn on final. Oh, I got more flaps than I really wanted. I wanted to land with 2 notches of flaps. I see I put 3 in there, so we corrected that. pretty good. Got all white pappies, so we're too high. Airspeed's pretty good. We're a little ways away from the airport here, so we'll kind of watch the pappies and see what they do. I am descending, just not really quick. Yep, 2-4, 2-4. We'll see if the pappies change. If they don't, I'll pull back the power a little bit. Up we go. Alrighty, 46 miles Erie. So we're going to fly along the lake shore, the shores of Lake Erie. Looking, it wants me to be on a heading of 249. Excuse me. So it really has a tower, so we will have to get permission. That was a little weird. We'll have to get permission to land. So. Sometimes what I see in the headset doesn't match what my frames are. Unless they changed. No. No, I didn't think they did. So I've got the GPU frame times in around 10. So there's no reason for there to be like a pause. Pretty big pause. And like no reason for that. So today we're hand flying. So last few streams I've been flying on autopilot, and I decided today I'd fly the plane. So. So we have two 4-lane roads that run out through here. The one closest to the lake right here is Interstate 90. And then the one further to the south right now, that is Route 20. So. Nope, wrong. That's railroad there. That's got to be Route 5. You look. Yep, that's Route 5. So the 4-lane up there, that's Interstate 90. So in this area along the lake, they grow lots of grapes, and the majority of them are used go to Welch's to make grape juice. A few of them are harvested to make wine. So wineries in this area are kind of new. They're probably 20 years because it was not legal to do that before. so now there's wineries scattered through this area. So basically because there was a lot of grapes. And wineries will pay better price for your grapes than what Welch's will. So. I happened to spend 49 years of my life at Welch's, so grapes were kind of a big part of my employment. So, but retired now, so I can do this. So currently I'm using a Vive Pro 2 with valve index controller. So that's what these guys are. And the advantage of that is I can have these controllers on my hands, and like right now I'm using I've been taught to fly an airplane with basically with fingertips. So I basically are just using my fingertips to grab the left-hand side of this yoke. And so any changes I'm making in this direction, or any changes I need to make with the pitch, that's all done with that. So I don't need any more than that because the plane's trimmed. So basically. It's gonna be pretty close to level right now, so it'll fly for a while. But as you see, plane's trying to go out that way, and so you have to give it a little corrective action to because we're hand flying, so you have to give it some corrective action to get it back on course. So. But because the plane's trimmed, I don't need to grab it with two hands, so that what that allows me to do is have this hand for sure is always pretty free to interact with any switches, any knobs, any of that kind of stuff, and the left one, if I need to get something over here, then I can just just touch the yoke with my other hand and be able to get to something. So, but it's why I enjoy index controllers. I have used them since they were released. I actually had I had a pre-order of index controllers, and I actually got index controllers before I got an index headset. So, and I've been using them ever since. And any headset that I've bought, I tend to I want to use index controllers with them. So, with the exception of my HP Reverb G2 that I bought, I couldn't directly use them with that. I had to jump through some hoops to try to make that work, and it was never a smooth ride. It was always, especially when I was trying to stream, it was always difficult because part of the time, like the setup would go away. So all of a sudden, like like I'd be like below the floor or something like that. It's kind of like, well, this is just no good. So, so I didn't use my G2 for very long, and I got rid of it. So it's like a little bit low here. I should be. I still got 33 miles to go. I probably should be at 3,000 right now. I can be at 2,000, but that's why I got rid of it, is for that reason. I could never make that a smooth experience. The visuals were pretty good in it. The controllers that come with it, I didn't like them at all. They didn't work the same way as the index controllers did, so that was probably a bigger part of it, and it's probably why I disliked them even more, is because of that. So, but so now I have a Vive Pro 2, and I have a Bigscreen Beyond on pre-order. So, from what I've been told, probably within 10 days or so, maybe less now, I should be receiving it. So that's going to be fun to kind of have a headset that weighs a tenth of what the one I use right now. That's going to be fun. So, and it's a native SteamVR headset. So my Vive Pro 2 uses I have to run this piece of software to kind of make the headset talk to SteamVR, and but the Bigscreen Beyond's native SteamVR, so I won't need any of that stuff. I just start up SteamVR, the headset connects to it, I'm good to go. So that it'll be a much easier setup process. So looking forward to that for sure. And these index controllers work fine with that. So because they're a SteamVR ecosystem. So. Yeah, I'm using Xworld and Global Forest version 2, and Xworld doesn't do a really good job of showing vineyard. It just doesn't do a good job of it. Some of them, when I look at the textures on there, look close, but not. If I was using Ortho for XP, it actually looks a lot better. So, but because I live along a shoreline, I've chosen not to use Ortho for XP until Laminar documents their water stuff, so that I can use Ortho for XP with whatever changes have to be made to keep the shorelines looking like they do. So the shorelines look pretty nice, so I don't want to break that. So. Okay, 21 minutes, 29 miles. So the way the land works here is along the shore is a little bit above the lake elevation. But as you go further in, it climbs by quite a bit. Probably at least 500 feet, if not more. And so many years ago, all this area here used to be, the lake used to be here. So the lake has since receded, so when you drive like from here going south, you have to climb at least 500 feet, if not 700 feet. So, and that kind of follows all the way along the shoreline in this part of Pennsylvania. It can smell like somebody's burning something outside. What? I was pulling back on the yoke and didn't realize it. I was just looking at my frames and stuff. Yeah, so I'm rendering basically native res of this headset. This headset's 2448 by 2448, and I'm giving X-Plane 2508 by 2508. And so my graphics are here. This will be interesting when I come back, because I should have put it on autopilot. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm going to put it on autopilot so I can I'd spend a little more time in the graphics area, but I don't want the plane to crash while I'm there. Just waiting for it to get down to 3,000 feet, and I'll put it on altitude hold. I'll just do this for a little bit. Alright, I think we're good. So, graphic. So texture quality is on high. I have this on ultra. I have this on off. A little bit of anti-aliasing. I don't find it helps a lot, but it does kill frames, so I choose to run it a little bit lower. This doesn't seem to affect the frames, and so I run it up. So kind of in the middle for vegetation. Do not have the zinc enabled. And certainly don't draw parked aircraft. So world density, I have it on maximum. Because I'm running X world, I kind of want to see them. Rendering distance, probably could put that on high, but I have been on up here, but I have been running it on high. Shadow qualities I have basically at the bottom, so aircraft only. Clouds, they're on high. So that's basically where I have my graphics setting set at. And let me go into Steam. So how I have so this for X-Plane. There we go. Okay, so basically I have Steam resolution per eye set to 3620, 70%. And so, and I am on custom. So I'm running refresh at 90. So per application. So then I adjust this multiplier at 48, and that gives me 2508 by 2508. So that's how I have my Steam VR. Steam VR settings. It sounded like the plane was a little slow. I could hear it when I was in the graphic settings. I'm like, what happened? Because it's a fixed pitch plane, as it was kind of balancing itself out, the airspeed was starting to go down, and then the RPMs were going down, then the airspeed would go down more. So and it was all related to how it was the balance of those two settings. So, alrighty. So, I'll take it out of autopilot, and I'll continue to fly the airplane. I just wanted it not to have to worry too much about it. As I'm flying. So this town here coming up is northeast. That's where I worked at. And actually that white building over there, that's one of the buildings of Welch's is over there. So it's a pretty good sized facility. It almost looks like when you drive up on it, it almost looks like an oil refinery, because we have how many? I think 6. So each one of these they're freestanding tanks. They're like 750,000 gallons of tank. Tanks are huge. They're like 48 feet across, or 40 feet across, and 48 feet high. They're just monstrous. So, and so we would, and there's other tanks, smaller tanks in buildings that all are used to store grape juice year round. So you basically harvest it about this time of year, and then and so you harvest it, you crush the grapes, you press them, and you get grape juice, and then you pasteurize that grape juice, and then you store it. And as long as you've pasteurized it, and you store it at around just above freezing, if not at freezing, then that grape juice will last more than a year. So, So we basically pull our bottling during the year. It's pulled from those tanks. So, and there's, like I said, those are the biggest ones, and then there's smaller ones that that you store in too, and then there's even smaller ones that you kind of that you batch out of. So you may add a bunch of ingredients and put them in a tank, and then you'll use that tank to pull to the line as you're bottling juice. So. This is a golf course outside of Northeast that's called Green Meadows because it's green and it's got a meadow. So we're getting close to not where I grew up at, but where I actually live. So. I should be able to see. I'm a little ways away from the interstate by my house, so it'll be a little bit more difficult to see. Yeah, you can just see a shimmer over there. That's Interstate 90 over there. So 90 back in New York, it's pretty close to the shoreline, where over here it's quite a way south of the shoreline. So. And where I live, there's a road called 86. 86 goes to New York, and that connects to 90 pretty close to where I live. So. Okay, 14 miles. So as we get closer to Erie, this is our peninsula. So basically it's real narrow at the furthest point away, and then it comes off and it's wider and as it gets more in the lake. So probably 300 acres. So, and then so inside, that's our bay, and so that protects the peninsula, protects the bay. So the boats and stuff in the harbor, in the bay there, even if you have a pretty good storm, they don't get moved around very much. So they're quite protected. So because Lake Erie is shallow lake, and so when we get a storm on Lake Erie, it can kick up fast and bad. So I've seen waves coming into the shore probably between 8 and 10 feet. So they can get pretty nasty. So you don't want to be out in a boat in that unless it's a very big boat, and even big boats they've lost. So and this golf course here is called Downing Golf Course. So this is real close to where I live. Look, yeah, that road back there, back that way to the left, that's where I live. Okay. Set COM1 standby 118.10.
COM1 standby set to 118.1.
Oops. I'll go a little bit over the lake right here. Next golf course coming up is Lawrence Park. Lawrence Park is just basically it sits alongside of General Electric. So these buildings over here to the left, that's General Electric, and that's what used to be General Electric. Now it's called WebTech. General Electric sold it to WebTech, and unless they settled, they're still on a strike right now, so not good times. General Electric, when my dad worked for them, employed 7 or 8,000 people. Currently, it's probably less than 2,000. And you can see all the railroad tracks because they make locomotives. So you have all these railroad tracks to the buildings. So you know they make the trains and then move them. You know, because there's a test track that runs along the main railroads. There's a test track that runs alongside of that. So. Alrighty, yeah, we're good. We're really good. Say weather.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf weather at Kilo Echo Romeo India is clear. Visibility is 10 miles. Winds are 220 at 11 knots. Current altimeter is 3013. Temperature 26 dew.15.
Say active runway.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf arriving and departing runway 06.
Really? Say wind.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf Erie International Ridge winds are 220 at 11 knots.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf inbound to land, runway 24.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf good afternoon. Altimeter is 3013. Enter pattern on a left downwind for runway 24. Pattern altitude is 1,700 feet. Call downwind.
Enter pattern on a left downwind for runway 24. Pattern altitude 1,700 feet. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Alrighty, so I gotta do a downwind for runway 24, so I gotta get to the left a little bit here. Because the runway's right there. Alrighty, flight went pretty well today. Clouds really look nice. We've seen there's a thread for 1206 R1, and somebody made the comment that I forgot how many posts there are in the thread, but basically what they said is with all these posts there wasn't one that said they had a crash, so that's kind of a good thing. So. Yeah, so I'll get off here to the left a little bit, and yeah. So the 4-lane over there, that's 79. That goes down towards Pittsburgh. So when I do my pattern, I'll be on the downwind. So I'm going to be coming back this way, and before this road, I'll turn my base. So. I want to make sure I'm wide enough to the airport that I can do like a 180 here and be far enough away from the airport. Yeah, I had to do some editing to X World to get the golf courses to show up. Originally, I would see golf courses in the default scenery, but when I used X World, I didn't see them. They weren't there. They were just kind of like a grassy area with no. So here you can see. So you got sand traps, you got greens, you got fairways. So you can actually see from a distance. You can see that's a golf course. So, same way there's one over there. So, and golf courses they're not marked on the map on the sectional charts as well as I thought they were, but they're good landmarks to kind of let you know like where you are and stuff. So. But if you look on the sectional chart, you look over here, you don't see that golf course. You don't see it marked anywhere here. So I'm not sure why that's true, but I just know it is. So. About the amount of time that I wanted to spend, so not bad. Yeah, like I said, I see there's quite a few GA aircraft that are on sale on xplane.org store, so I want to excuse me, I want to pick some up and start flying them. So. I really want to play with the twin. I want to see if I can actually fly a twin with VR controllers. So, if they're done right, the two controls will be there'll be like a spot in between them where you can grab them and move them together. So, as long as that's true, then it shouldn't be a big deal. So, it'll just be a little bit more complex aircraft. So. But I'll probably find some GA aircraft that are more single-engine GA aircraft that are more complex also, and kind of work my way that way. So go more complex than what this is. In other words, retractable gear or just variable pitch propeller, that kind of stuff first. And then as I get more comfortable with that, then I could progress to a twin. So. But that's kind of what my plan is. So. I won't say I'm bored flying a 172. I think they're just so much fun to fly. But I thought it'd be good to expand my horizons a little bit. And kind of expand the stream's content also. So. Alrighty, I think I'm far enough away now. Yeah, I can't even see the airport, so, yep. Alrighty, so we'll do a 180 here. Just doing standard rate turn here. I'm pretty sure sooner or later I'll see airport in front of me. So I'm just doing a slow turn, trying to maintain some airspeed, some altitude, and not turn too steep. Oh, it's right there. Actually closer than I thought it was. Keep on going. Keep on going. Yeah, a little closer than I thought it was going to be. That's okay, I'm fine. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 24.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf call turning final for runway 24.
Okay. I have Pilot to ATC set up that they said that the active runway was 6, which is over there. But when I looked at the winds, I was like, no, the winds are not right. So so I can basically say I want to land on runway 24, and then she will oblige. So that's cool. So I won't say that always has worked in the past, but that worked just now. So I'm a little bit too high in elevation here, not a lot. Just I should be at around 2,000 feet right now, and I'm 25. So I got to get rid of some altitude, but that's okay. So pull back power here. 1 notch of flaps. Get the plane to descend. I may go out a little further here. We'll see. Because runway elevation 700, and I'm at 2,000, so I got to get rid of some height. But I don't want to get too far away. Because that's 79 there, so I'm going to turn, and I'll put in another notch of flaps, making sure the plane keeps descending, because I got elevation to get rid of, so there's no sense in trying to keep this thing up higher. Just let it descend. So we're rolling it around. We're looking for a heading of 330. So right now I'm at pattern altitude and I'm too high, so we'll just allow it to continue to descend. I think I'm pretty good right now, so I'm gonna put in a little more power, because I'm further away from the airport than I normally am, but that's fine. And I'll make all my adjustments on final. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf turning final.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf winds are 220 at 11 knots, cleared to land runway 24.
Okay.
Cleared to land runway 24 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Oh, that's why. It's like something seemed really odd. Because I was carrying like way more power than what I should have. Because I've always been landing with 2 notches of flaps. I looked over and I went, oh, that's why. You're set up to fly a lot slower than where you are, so yeah, this all looks so much better. So, alrighty. So, I'm not touching the yoke at all. So this plane's trimmed for about 70 knots. I got about 1,700 RPMs in. We are a bit high, so I'm going to go back to probably 1,500 or so. I'm just going to let it run out. I'm landing here, so. Cut the power.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf exit runway when able.
Okay. We will do that. Not bad. Yeah. I thought the nose was a little higher than normal. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf clear of active runway 24.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf welcome to Erie International Ridge contact ground on 121.9er, good day.
Ground on 121.9er Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf ready to taxi to general aviation parking.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf taxi to general aviation parking via taxiways Alpha, Echo, Bravo, hold short runway 02. Taxi to general aviation parking via taxiways Alpha, Echo, Bravo, hold short runway 02 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Every once in a while when I make that call, it's almost like they're taking a nap. So every once in a while I'll like go ahead and say it again, you know, and I've learned to just wait. he will speak, but sometimes it takes him 5 or 10 seconds before he actually responds. So. All right. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, I just wanted kind of a short flight today, and airports that I had not flown to in Erie, I've flown to in real life, but the other airports I've only been in the sim, but they're close to here, and just to make sure that there isn't anything in this R1 that's at least a showstopper. There's a couple of things, and I'll go over them when I get the plane kind of shut down. So.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf cross runway 02. Cross runway 02 Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Yeah, this is an updated airport, but it hasn't. It's been recommended on the Scenery Gateway, but it's not in the sim yet. So, not sure what happened. It's almost like they tried to put some airports in, and something went bad. So they pulled them back out, and I don't know what they're waiting for. I kind of thought when they went to R1 that that would have been the deal, but no, that's not. Come on. Come on. Okay. Shut off the avionics. Go back on that. Okay, so a couple of things that probably should be fixed. So if I go over to developer, let me go from the bottom up. So if I click on show VRAM profiler, that shows up. That's cool. So what that allows you to do is kind of cool. So if I click on details, and then I go over here and click on controller. So, height. So basically, this image of this controller that comes from here. So this sim objects VR controller underscore index underscore XR underscore right. That's this controller. And so it basically lets you know which what object file it's using to display this. Early in the run of OpenXR, these weren't visible. And the reason they weren't is there wasn't an object file that kind of was telling it that you should display something. So Chris Serio created these, and because what it was is it was using the Oculus, but the Oculus wasn't, part of it wasn't working right with it. So, but Chris went ahead and fixed all this. So, and then the other thing is that this PNG file, so objects VR controllers PNG. These are, that's I think nighttime, but this one here, this is where the textures come from. So if you actually look at this file and look at what it looks like, it's all these textures. So what the grip button looks like, what the X button and the menu button look like, what the thumbstick looked like, that's where that information comes from that PNG file. So, and this is visible in VR. Here's another one. That's micro profiler. So this basically looks at all the frames while you're in, wherever you're at, whether you're in VR or not, but it looks at all the frames. So that also works in VR. But if I go to this one, texture browser, so it didn't show up. So we'll go back to developer, and you notice it's got a dot on it. So why didn't it show up? Well, because it put it in the wrong place. So if I go and go look at my desktop, I would have expected it to be here. Is it there? And it's not. Let me go. I'm going to pop out of VR just for a split second. That is different than what it did before. What it did before is, let me make sure it's still, oh. Maybe I turned it back off. Let me look again. Yeah. So rather than being displayed in VR, it's displayed on the 2D on the desktop screen here. So that quite frankly, I mean, these tools should be available in VR also. So, but it's not. So let me I'll just close it the other way. It's easier when I'm yeah. Texture browser shows up in 2D, not in VR. So I think, let me look at another. Dev consoles kind of made difference, so I don't think that should be. But so the show rain inspector, same way, that isn't here. Where is rain inspector? Oh, that's here. Rain inspector, yep. So that's here. So those two should be they actually should show up in DR. So we will have to write a bug report. I tried to write a bug report for it before, and I'm not sure what happened. When I tried to submit the bug report, I didn't get one of those auto reporting, and I kind of reported that, and I was told my bug reports were merged, but I'm not so sure what they were merged with, or what they were called if they were merged. So I'm at a little bit of a loss right now. Trying to think of anything else. Oh yeah, one other thing. Do I find it? Where are you? Oh, you got it? Oh, so the thing that sits over here, in VR in R1, that doesn't highlight. You can feel it when you put your controller by it. You can feel it. But that's why I can't find it now, because if I put my controller by it, it won't highlight, so I can see it. So but that's kind of a small thing. That's no showstopper for me anyhow. So. But all in all, I would say that I'm pretty happy. I am quite happy in what I'm seeing. Like, and I can get frame times around 10, under 10, on it's not a completely clear sky, but and that's cool. That's really cool. So, all right, I'm gonna call it. Thanks for dropping by, and if you enjoyed this content, please click on the follow button, and so when I go live, you'll get a notification. And I'm doing these kind of flights. In other words, I don't fly an airliner, just don't. I fly basically a plane, any plane that I could legitimately fly myself. I am a former student pilot and trained in a 172. So any plane in that range. And like I said, I'm going to try to kind of go up to the more advanced airplanes with like variable pitch props, that kind of stuff. But my criteria is that they have to be able to work like I like. In other words, physical yoke and pedal, VR controllers for all other interactions. If I can find planes that actually do that, then I'm glad to fly them and learn. But if they don't, then it's no longer fun for me. And one thing I've learned doing this is that I only stream stuff that I enjoy, and if I don't enjoy, I don't. So, and probably within probably within a little bit of time here. I'm going to once again try to look at Microsoft Flight Simulator. Probably I'll probably stream that test. The issue I have right now, or I had, is when I grab on this throttle, so I pull it on the trigger, and I can just move it just the littlest of bit. So I can move it 100 RPM. When I do the same thing in Microsoft Flight Simulator, if I pull down on the trigger and try to move it in, it's not going to move. So it won't move, won't move, won't move. And I keep moving the controller, and then all of a sudden, then it moves. So it moves like 25%. Like, how the hell is that going to work? And if I use the mouse and do exactly the same thing with the mouse, it works. So when I went to Flight Sim Expo in Houston, I had the opportunity to talk to what makes it the right York. He basically is the head of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and so I had a chance. I says, "Can I ask a question?" And he goes, "Yeah, well, of course." So I went. I says, "You fly in VR, right?" He goes, "Yeah." I says, "Do you use VR controllers in VR?" And he goes, "No, I use a mouse." And I went, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." So he uses a mouse. He doesn't use a VR controller. So he would have never experienced what I experienced because I use VR controllers and don't use a mouse. And so I explained to him what it was. He had somebody with him that was taking notes and stuff. And I quite frankly, this would have been the end of June. So where are we at now? We're in September. I've heard nothing. I mean, no reach out, no nothing. It's kind of like, okay. So you pacified listening to my question, but I got nothing. So it's kind of like, okay. So I'm going to again try to fly in Microsoft Flight Simulator the way I want to fly a simulator and see if it's any better. I see we just got an update. I updated it today. We got a whole bunch of updates today, and I'll go try again. And but I don't see, because it would appear like the majority of the group of VR players for Microsoft Flight Simulator don't use VR controllers. That's, I don't know what else to think. How something could be as broken as it is for as long as it has been. I don't know what else to think but that. So. Alrighty, enough of the rant. We'll call it a day. And it's been a lot of fun. And for all who stopped by, thank you so much. We'll, I don't know when I'll stream again. Probably be in a couple of days. And we'll be back at it. And so hopefully soon, I'll won't have this great big monstrous headset on my face, but I'll have something that is so much smaller. It's not funny. So, all right. Have a great day. I've had fun. Bye-bye.